to the Hello, and welcome to the Barcelona Creativity and Design Foundation, a new stage to promote the creative business economy and become an international reference. After more than 50 years, the Barcelona Design Center begins a new stage under the name Barcelona Creativity and Design Foundation. This transformation reinforces its role as a promoter of business creativity and projects its international character in response to the growing demand for creative innovation worldwide. The Barcelona Creativity and Design Foundation has a clear vision to position Barcelona as a global reference in business creativity and the creative economy, consolidating it as a city of ideas. Its mission is to promote the creative economy, collaborating with the professional and business community to develop its ecosystem and demonstrate the value of creativity in all economic sectors. To this end, the organization is working to promote the city as a hub for creative talent and interdisciplinary innovation, capable of responding to global challenges from the potential of its local strengths. My name is Scott Mackin from 𝗕𝗿𝗲𝗁, a creative AI marketing agency, and I'm joined tonight with Germán León, founder of 𝗕𝗿𝗲𝗁, for a nice evening talking about creativity and the future of AI in business. Germán, great to be with you.
Same here, Scott. Nice to see you as well. Thanks for the introduction. For many people, they might be thinking, how is BCD, the new Barcelona Creativity Foundation, expanding its brand, and what is it doing? And one of the big realities that we have today, and what we're going to talk about today, is the idea of how artificial intelligence is changing the economy in general, and how actually AI is going to spark a new experience economy. I'm going to share some slides with you guys so that you get a feeling of what we're talking about a little bit more, much more vivid. So, let me quickly get to this. So, all right. By the way, Scott, if you have any questions at any point, please do go ahead. You know, we have had this conversation multiple times.
We have.
So, so the new AI creative economy is affecting me. Of course it is. The reality of what we are going to see in the next 4 to 5 years is that a lot of jobs are going to disappear. That's a fact. Whatever is going to be automated will get automated. And there is nothing we can do about it. It's the capitalism and it's the world as it is. But it sparks a new thing. So no one wants to see, for instance, 2 robots playing football. Super boring. Maybe if the robots smash each other, there's a small niche in the US where they love that. But in general, what we want to see is human potential, human emotion, and so on. And that's what experience comes in. For most of you that know me, my name is Germán León. I've worked for many years together in startups. And most people know me for the reference that I have to this film, Minority Report. The anecdote here is that back in the day, 2011, I joined 𝗷𝗄𝗏, the company that actually was behind the film. John Underkoffler, my former boss, was the chief innovation officer of Steven Spielberg for the film. And this film represents a breakthrough in terms of what the world will look like in the year 2050. You have to have in mind that this film was done in 2002. Actually, it was done in 2000 and actually was launched in 2002. And here, for the first time, we see things like gesture technology, iris recognition, autonomous cars, a lot of the things that seem to be the reality and the norm in the year 2050. So there's a lot that we can learn from this experience. And I founded a company that's called Gestus, a company that I sold in the year 2022, which was about that. It was a computer vision artificial intelligence company together with co-founder Marcelo 𝗂𝘂𝘀𝗂. We created an AI that was able to see and understand human behavior in motion. And we sold this company to another camera manufacturer in the US, a company that's embedding this AI for automotive missions and other markets they play in. But the reason we sold that is because this is happening. This is a fact, a reality today. We have automation happening at every single level in every single industry. This is an example of a user recognition in a coffee place. You will think like, yeah, but nothing happens at coffee. People will still be serving coffees. Yes and no. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. The fact that we have all this data on what's going on, and we can see the time that people spend just sitting together for an hour and 15 minutes in a coffee starts to change a lot of things. It starts to give us ideas on how we're going to use this data for new experiences, for new products, and for new services. We can see that potentially, it's more efficient to have a robot doing things, and that's a fact. That's a reality. So an example of that is, for instance, this image that I have here. This is a project around traffic, where you can see how a drone, a set camera at the top of a church, actually is absolutely taking note on everything that's going on at a city level and at a pedestrian level. Every single item is being tracked, is being analyzed. You can see the speed and so on. We can detect with this kind of data hotspots. We can see what things work, what things don't work. We can even change the entire design of cities as they exist. This is a reality. This is something that it's absolutely happening. For instance, in the space of logistics, we know very well NVIDIA. NVIDIA is actually helping the entire supply chain to completely become autonomous, using robotic technologies, having warehouses where a lot of things are going to happen, even to the point of the collection where we can detect the van, we can detect the license plate, the person loading and unloading the application, and so on. This is now. This is almost, I'm telling you, this is not the future. This is happening right now. When you order a box from Amazon, a lot of these robotic machines are doing a lot of this work already. The fact is that many of these automatic tasks will happen, still happening, and it's going to get bigger and higher. So what do we do with that reality? What does that mean for us? And here's the one thing that completely changed.
Draft that the computer has never seen. It's only looking at the fMRI data. And this is what the computer thinks the human is seeing. Yeah, but of course it goes further. So in this one, they said, can they understand the inner monologue, the things you're saying to yourself in your own mind? Mind you, by the way, when you dream, like your visual cortex runs in reverse, so your dreams are no longer safe. But we'll try this. So they had people watch a video and just narrate what was going on in the video in their mind. So a woman hit in the back, she falls over. This is what the computer reconstructed the person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she's gone. So our thoughts are starting to be decoded. Yeah, just think about what this means for authoritarian states, for instance.
That's the scary part. So let's show you the present. This is the future, and the future continues. We are at the stage where our thoughts can be seen by an artificial intelligence. Our dreams can be translated into images. And we have really powerful LLMs like the one you're seeing right now, which is Sora. It's OpenAI video creation tool, which is going to change absolutely everything. I'm saying that for many creatives, this might be the chance to actually enter a new, completely exciting experience economy that will change everything. I just read recently a post from a father that wanted to create its own manga film based on his family stories. And in a weekend, using a software similar to Sora, he managed to create an entire anime film, a 35-minute anime film with his own family story. Imagine the power that we have right now in our hands, where we can multiply content creation and we can completely change many of the things that we do. Is it bad news for camera people? Not really. It might actually become an inspiration to make product even better. But it's definitely an area where creativity is going to expand to levels that we can't even think of. If you asked me 20 years ago, if people that will be taking photos of themselves would just make a living, I would say you're crazy. This is ridiculous. How can you believe that exists? We have now influencers, we have YouTubers, we have so many industries created by that medium that we couldn't even think of 20 years ago. I'm not going that far. Same things happening right now with artificial intelligence. The space of creation is about to get completely crazy and incredibly fantastic. But the only people that will benefit from that will be those who truly understand what the tools will be doing, what these models are capable of. And in one way, yes, I think it's not okay that a lot of people might be losing their jobs because they're changing. But at the same time, these kind of revolutions happen for a reason, and they bring new ideas in spaces. So I have been teaching for now, this is the second year. We launched a master's in interaction design and artificial intelligence, teaching designers how to create products in general. So what you see right here, it's the software of one of my students. I have created a tool that allows people to essentially create 3D renders of architectural pieces live. And you're thinking, but what is that? He's an architect. He realized architectural space is going to get refined. And the part where a lot of architects suffer with is the actual creation, getting the materials, getting the legislation right, getting the code, the architectural code right, so that they could use this. So he thought, like, if we democratize architecture, it's no longer about the beautiful design, but it's about allowing people that do few sketches, and the AIs that you see right there is building what I want at the end. You're changing the game entirely. That doesn't mean that you're going to build it. That doesn't mean a lot of things. The architect still continues. But that moment of that interaction between the client and the architect changes completely, democratizes the act of designing the space itself. For architects, maybe. At the same time, we can see that machines are going to be able to create designs that will go beyond the typical Bauhaus space that we've been having for many, many years. All the houses look the same. I wish people that live in Barcelona could continue to see the wonderful architecture that Barcelona had. It feels like it's stopped in a certain era. There's no new Sagrada Familias going out there. We're still building it. So what if now with AI we can find more efficient ways of constructing really beautiful designs that are maybe organic, that are sustainable, that really have that impact. So that is the point where the creation and the AI can make a big change. And this is one example of my students. Another great example, it's around medical health. So we are at the stage where we can help the health industry and make it even more exciting and responsive. It's impossible to have a doctor per person. In average, a doctor should be able to attend at least 6 families. That's an average. That would mean that you need a lot of doctors. Well, what if we take part of that process and make it an AI? So in this example, one of my students, he designs an artificial intelligence that is using computer vision and medical data sets to help people find out whether they're healthy or not. So that moment where you're like, I don't know if you guys have had the experience of going to the doctor and what do you feel? And you're like, I don't know. It really hurts. I don't know what that means, right? So using computer vision and using these technologies, we're going to be able to see exactly what's going on with you. We can measure the temperature. We can hear the voice and detect early conditions of the diseases, even giving you the opportunity to find out whether you have COVID or not, or get super advanced and actually find out whether you could have a very critical disease like Alzheimer's and so on. So that first stage of actually interacting with the doctor changes entirely. And this system will allow you to get the right diagnosis at the beginning before you go to the doctors, or maybe you know that you might not need to go to the doctors yet. This is a really interesting space. It means we will have better healthcare. So healthcare, for instance, is one of those industries that's going to expand because it requires help, and the automation is going to make it better. So that's an example of how a designer, actually Keith was a nurse and a designer at the same time, and he built this incredible product. Another example of use of creativity, which for me is one of the best, is this product called 𝗕𝗿. 𝗕𝗿 is a dog translator. So essentially, what the AI is doing every time the dog barks, it actually combines computer vision data, so it looks at the camera that the dog has, and combines the 2 data points. And you can see that the dog perhaps does that bark. It's not sounding really well. You want to see what's going on, buddy. You look at the dog and you realize that at that hour, 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗏, the dog potentially ate something dangerous. So this AI is combining multiple, and this is multiple sets of data. It's obviously a multimodal data. That's another expression that's used. And it's allowing owners to actually have a communication with the dog. So it would be really fantastic in the future that we could see dogs actually talking back, and that we are able, with the data that we have, to literally translate the communication from our pets and our animals. That's a new industry. That's a completely new space for creativity and design, which is really fantastic. This expands entirely areas like that at the moment are just focused for certain folks. Another project that was really, really interesting, and this is actually coming more to the sort of area where we can have in-depth discussions. The product is called MirrorMe. And what you see here is one of my students, Sergio. He has created a twin of himself. Currently, he was using the tool HeyGen, which is an AI that can allow you to create a copy of yourself, an avatar of yourself. And if you train this AI over time with your own data, essentially becomes a version of yourself online. So he did that, and what you see right there, it's not Sergio, it's Sergio's AI mirror over time. The person that you see right there is his future children or his future child. So that opens an incredible space for conversation where we will probably have in the future AI agents that live, our parents, ourselves, maybe living for many, many years. And here's where I see that the idea of immortality can become a reality, which is really, really exciting. So that's the bit of the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing so that we can get into the discussion a little bit. So yeah, I don't know, Scott, if you have any questions.
No, I mean, I always get amazed when I see what the students have come up with, because it's like it's even looking beyond where the capabilities of AI stands today, but where it will be 6 months from now, 1 year from now, and so unlocking all that creative potential and a lot of it's just the imagination. Like that's the limit of what you can create now.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I think we've been instructed by an educational system that defines you. And some people, when you ask them, well, what are you? They say, I'm a lawyer. And then you ask them about, who are you? Yeah, I'm a lawyer that likes. And it's like, what? You're not necessarily defined by your profession. You probably
Right.
have many things that you could experience or show off that have nothing to do with your profession. And I think that mindset needs to change. So education is one of those areas of flexibility that is really great. And I think now for us as adults, it's going to be tricky to go back to school. First, the schools need to be redesigned. You and I both have children. You know that
Right.
the school system is kind of like going to the slowest person and keeping everybody at the slowest pace. You want to include everybody. But that's not the reality. Some kids are faster than others. Some kids are more musical. Some kids are more athletic. Some kids are more logical. And you might want to let that little vertical go and see what kind of value and contribution they can have to society. That means that every single teacher becomes an AI agent. And maybe the adult that is taking care of children is guiding them through that human interaction, which is something that you hardly learn in school. Not many schools are focusing on how to be a better person, how to help people much better, how to take care of your life after a certain period of time. No? It's all about doing tests and knowing math and doing science, and so which is good. But at the same time, there are things that could be explored and expanded much better, right?
No, of course. Beyond that, it's just a training on how to sit in the same place for 8 hours a day. It was built for the Industrial Revolution, right? It was the modern education system is 120 years old, and it's we need to evolve it to evolve where we are as a society. But I totally agree that it's
Exactly.
time beyond time to augment with AI there.
It is. And I think one of the spaces that is really interesting is now for people to kind of realize, all right, do I need to work 8 hours a day? Are there aspects of my work that can become automatic that do not need me 100%? Are there areas where I can actually reutilize AI to make certain tasks a little bit more efficient and different? And if you have that extra time, hopefully you do, what will you be? So the idea of creativity and expansion of creativity is like moving beyond the titles and expanding ourselves to new things that I don't know what they will be. But I think our mission, like you and I have discussed many times, is that people need to learn to explore. And that process takes time And obviously, we want to help people through that. And part of the mission of BCD is now to connect all these creatives around the world and bring creativity to every single one of those verticals out there. So if you're a lawyer, of course you are creative and you can do really creative things. If you're an accountant, of course you can do really interesting things. If you're a medical engineer or a mechanical engineer, no matter where you are, there is a level of creativity that can be applied to your career. But most importantly, for you as a human, there are spaces as human that you can expand very, very well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this is a moment where continuous education, continuous learning should be embraced. This is something we get to do. It shouldn't, my philosophy is it shouldn't be going in with any level of fear. It should be absolute excitement, because the amazing thing is what a time to be alive right now, because we truly get to reinvent society, our lives, the day to day, and go so much beyond what our normal professions would be, which can be rote and just repetitive and boring. And so to be able to bring so much to this, I love the Sam Altman quote that in 10 years time, every single person on earth will have the ability and capability to accomplish more than any single person can today, which means just raising the total level of consciousness and ability by the entire planet, entire civilization is going to be just an exciting time. So I think this has changed the mindset of how we approach learning and augmenting our abilities with artificial intelligence.
Absolutely. Well, we're running short of time, so I just want to have a closing remark. First of all, I want to share with people that very soon we're going to be announcing a very exciting AI festival, AI and Creativity Festival in the city, where we want everybody to be part of. This is one opportunity to actually meet people in the space, learn new things, ideas. We have people from banking, experts in legal things, creatives, marketeers, developers. Everybody should be part of this. I think creativity should become even more democratic and expand itself. And the message for all of us at the moment is every single human has the natural thing of being creative at all times. So this is the window of opportunity. When we were children, we would play one day as a fireman, another day you'd be the nurse, another day you'd be an astronaut. It might become a reality that in the future you have many versions of yourself. It doesn't have to be what we have today, that you have one single skill and that's it. You're that for life.
Yes, generalists will have their day in the sun.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Scott, for taking the time today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. This is great.
And everybody, we welcome you guys to join the BCD, the new Barcelona Creativity Foundation. Stay tuned for all the events and things that are going on. This is going to be an exciting year for everybody.
Yeah, very exciting spring coming up. A lot of events.
All right.
Nice.
Well,
Thanks. See you soon.
We'll leave you there.